All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here today on this amazing Wednesday. It is Wednesday. It is Hump Day, the middle of the week, just a couple more days before another amazing weekend. And today I have a great show for you folks. I'm sure you have seen the thumbnail and the title of this stream, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, and you know I'm very, very passionate about this topic. This is the most crucial topic of the modern world that we all live in. So stay tuned for that. But before we get to all of that, let me just make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it absolutely has. And let me check out the back end of YouTube and ensure that it is rolling smoothly, and it absolutely is. And again, we're simulcasting live on Facebook as well. Let me just check out Facebook and see if things are coming through. Oh, didn't make the news feed today. Oh well, no big deal. Things are coming through. Oh, didn't make the news feed today. Oh, okay. No big. We're all good. We're all good. And one more piece of official business before we get down to business. This YouTube channel and Facebook and my entire business and brand is sponsored by my good longtime friend, Troy Brewer. He is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. Troy is a genius at branding and marketing, and he also offers tons of great products and services you may need. And he's affiliated with the most trustworthy professionals on the planet. So if you're a YouTuber and you need help with your branding and marketing, or if you're self-employed in any other fashion, Troy can definitely help you. Go below the description about a third of the way down the YouTube side of things, and check out the two links. One of them is to the main site, discovercommunitynetwork.com, and the other link below that is one of their many subsidiaries. If you're on Facebook, you can just go to the search bar and type in discovercommunitynetwork.com. That'll take you to their main Facebook business page, and from there, you'll be able to find out how to connect with Troy. Or if you want a little more hand-holding and you want a personal connection with Troy, you want me to refer you to him personally, just go below the description on YouTube or in the description section on Facebook and find my email, Coach Eli at coach.eliasmelas.com. Send me an email and I'll do an introduction. And we can even set up a three-way phone conversation to have a short, free phone consultation. Troy, thank you very much once again for your continued sponsorship and patronage of this channel, of my brand, of my business. Thank you so much, Troy. Lots of love from Coach Eli. All right. So let's see. Today we have a great topic. We're going to be discussing masculine versus feminine energy. Before we get to that, let me check out Facebook, and nobody's over on Facebook right now. I'll be periodically checking in on Facebook in case anyone comments over there throughout the show. On the YouTube side of things, we have Queen Helen Casey to start things off here. And she says, the Queen is here and you're good. All right, fantastic. Let's get to it because I have a lot of material to cover. I'm probably going to take a short break in the middle. And I want to try to get through all of this in 2 hours or less because I don't want to overwhelm you with a very, very, very long stream. But this is absolutely crucial information here, folks. I've talked about it before, but today I'm going to actually go and read some comments through a few Quora forums. I love the Quora website. A lot of people will ask questions on there and other people will respond. And so I did a little digging and I found some very interesting responses that I'm going to be sharing and putting my own spin on it, putting my critique on it. Both men and women have responded. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised with the responses, but I wanted to show you what the rest of the world thinks about this topic besides myself, because it's not just me that feels we have an issue in this modern world nowadays. We have a power struggle issue primarily between men and women, but it involves masculine versus feminine energy in general. And the reason why I say primarily between men and women, because today we have, gay and lesbian relationships, and we have different types of sexual orientations, which is great. But even, let's say, for example, even in a gay or lesbian relationship where it's a same-sex relationship, there's always one side that has more masculine energy, and there's always the other side that has more feminine energy. And if you have, both sides, even in a gay or lesbian relationship that exude, more masculine energy than feminine energy, if you have both sides exuding masculine energy, it's not going to work, because the sexual polarity is not going to be there. One side needs to be more dominant. The other side needs to be more submissive. And a lot of women nowadays are very bothered by this topic. And I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to get to the forums in just a few here. But I will say this. Obviously, as a prelude into the show, how did this all start? About 55 years ago or so, women were liberated, and we are now in the third wave of feminism, which is fine. Women got equal rights, the right to, they're able to work, the right to bear arms, freedom of speech, the right to vote, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. That's great. No man on the planet is questioning women having equal rights. But because now that women have been liberated and now they're able to do things that once only men were able to do, and that's because the things that men have always done require masculine energy. And because they require masculine energy, women have to exude masculine energy even as a woman to do these jobs. No problem with these women doing these jobs, but it requires them to step out of their natural feminine essence and exude more masculine energy than feminine energy. No problem when it comes to work. But what happens when a woman like that is trying to date a masculine man or is married to a masculine man? She goes to work, exudes that masculine energy, but is not able to turn it off when she comes home and be a little bit more submissive and feminine. Now, I'm not saying that women need to be like the June Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver type of housewife nowadays. That's not what I'm saying. But a woman needs to be primarily in her feminine essence 70 to 80% of the time, and the other 20 to 30% of the time she can be more dominant. Such as if you're in the bedroom, most of the time the man will dominate you in the bedroom, and then 20 to 30% of the time the woman will dominate you. I like a woman that can dominate me in the bedroom every now and then, but not more than 20 or 30% of the time. And other aspects, of her, like when we're hanging out or doing things, she needs to be in her feminine essence, 70 to 80% of the time. As far as men go, if you're dating a feminine woman, a woman that exudes more feminine energy, and you behave more feminine than 20 to 30% of the time, and not more masculine 70 to 80% of the time, that's not going to be attractive to a woman because she's already feminine. And women are attracted to a man's strength, a man's physical strength, emotional strength, mental strength, right? Women are attracted to a man. They want to feel safe around the man. They want to know that if they're out and about and they get into any danger, that the man is going to be able to protect her. And if a man is behaving more feminine more of the time than masculine, that woman's going to lose trust of that man's masculine core, and she's going to start to get annoyed. She's going to start to feel awkward. She's going to start to say, I'm just not feeling the same way. I don't know why I'm not feeling the same way. Well, you're going to find out, and I'm sure you have an idea, but you just want to be nice and not say it. The truth of the matter is, she's confused and not feeling it anymore because her man that was once more masculine when she first met him has now become more feminine, maybe has become complacent, lazy, and is not exuding masculine energy more so than feminine energy. Now, 20 to 30% of the time, no problem for a man to exude feminine energy. I'm a good guy, but I'm masculine 70 to 80% of the time. The other 20 to 30% of the time, I want to bond with my woman emotionally. And every so often, something may make me, even as a man, shed a tear or two, right? Nothing wrong with a man showing some emotion every now and then. But if a man shows emotion more than 20 to 30% of the time, that's going to make him come off as more feminine and submissive to his woman. And it's going to naturally and biologically turn her off despite the era that we're living in. So anyway, that's the prelude to the storm. Let's see here. Riff Magos in the house. Hey, Riff, you mean equal. One woman cries, me too, and a man's life is destroyed, innocent or not. F that. No, that's true, bro. And that's why guys have to be careful. Like for me, I screen out women very well before I start dating them, right? I test them on the phone before I even meet them, right? And if that woman is not, more so submissive and sweet and kind, I will not go out with her. The women that typically are going to cry out me too are the women that are the radical feminists, and they are the women that blatantly show more masculine energy than feminine energy. Rick. Guys can actually, tell. At least guys like myself and yourself that are pretty well versed on the modern day woman, we can tell when a woman's exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy. Those are the types of women that are more prone to hashtag me to you. A woman that's more old school, that's going to be sweet and loving and more submissive, is not going to take that route. She's going to try to say, hey, it's just not working out. Let's just part ways, right? Okay. Now, I'm not saying all women that are submissive are going to handle it that way, but that's what I've noticed. More so, the women that are more submissive and not exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy are less likely to pull a hashtag me too type of thing. But you never know, Riff. Anyone can do that to any guy at any time. So you got to be careful, guys. You got to be careful, and you have to get to know the person, and you have to know what you're getting into and what you're up against in the modern world. Queen Helen Case says, hello, Riff. Riff says, hello, Queen. Riff says, hashtag heathen monk life. Okay, cool, bro. Riff says, smirks. I know someone who will have a lot of video fun with that piece of information. Okay, cool, Riff. Riff says the word you're looking for is monkey branching. Well, yes, of course women monkey branch, but they've always done that. That's been a part of their natural biology, Riff, going back to the days of traditionalism where, women were dependent on men for survival, and they had to seek out the strongest man that they could trust to protect them and to be able to reproduce with and have happy, healthy children, right? So that's always been a part of a woman's natural biology. But in the modern world where women have been sexually liberated and liberated in general, and they're independent, it comes more into play nowadays. So yeah, guys, we're we're up against a storm. But hey, you can still find decent women. It just takes a lot longer to find decent women nowadays. You're going to go through literally hundreds of bad seeds before you find one decent one. That's just the way it goes. Rip says the other 30% of the time he takes an Epsom salt bath. You're very funny, Riff. That's great. Riff says, I don't care how feminine the woman is. In today's world, women know man equals dollars. Well, that's true, but they're making their own money as well. You got to find women that are making, close to the amount of money you're making, right? Or at least can support themselves. My ex, Dana, made similar money as I made. So it was never, ever an issue, right? you guys have to look at what the woman has to bring to the table, even monetarily nowadays, before you get with her, because they're liberated, they're independent, right? So they should be in a good place financially, and you should be in a good place financially. And here's the thing, Rick, if you both bring equal assets into a relationship, and even if you get married, right, then it's not going to really cost you much of anything if you divorce, except your sanity, right? And maybe attorney fees and stuff like that. But see, that's the problem nowadays. A lot of younger women are seeking older men because they have a ton of money, and these women hardly have any money. And they do it because they know whether it works out with that guy or not. If they stay married to him for 10 years or so, they're going to get half of everything that was acquired during the marriage, right? So, like I said, if you guys are going to seek out a good woman nowadays, you want to find a woman that's at a similar level as you. Maybe as a guy, you make a little more money than them because that'll make you feel a little more masculine. But it doesn't have to be an abundance more, because let's say you make 3-4 times the amount of the woman, you get married, and then you go through divorce 10 years later, that woman's going to take a lot of your assets, that were acquired during the marriage. So food for thought, right, Riff? Riff says, by all means, try and find a good woman, or you can spend your time and energy living your life and actually being happy. Well, I have testosterone, Riff, and I love making out with a woman. I love being intimate with a woman. I love going hiking with a woman. And I don't know if I'll ever get married. I still do believe in marriage, but because of the way things are nowadays, I don't know if I'll ever get married, but I do enjoy the company of a woman. And I would prefer to go hiking with a woman on any given day over a guy. It's just much more fun for many reasons. And they're better conversationalists too, in my opinion. Rip says, all I know is I can spend $10,000 on guitars and not deal with anyone's nagging. I call that freedom. No, I respect that about you, bro. I totally respect that about you. I honestly do. So let me check out Facebook real quick. One person on Facebook, feel free to chat. I'll be periodically checking in on Facebook in just a little bit, or every so often. All right. Yeah, and I found this nice background today of, I'm not quite sure where this is. The Pixabay didn't tell me where this is, but it's some city, some city that's been made into a modern city with the tall skyscrapers and the water surrounding the buildings. I just think it's very beautiful. What do you think about the background today, folks? Isn't this beautiful? I don't think it's Italy or anything like that. It's some city in the U.S., I think. But anyway, all right. So let's switch on over to the browser source, or the browser screen, and let's get right to this, because I have three different postings, three different questions posted on Quora that people responded to, both men and women. And, people of different sexual orientations responded too. So this is going to be pretty interesting, okay? Rip says, as far as testosterone levels, I'm not the only one who wants to be dominated by a woman. I'm not the one who wants to be dominated by a woman. I don't either, dude. But here's the thing, Riff. I don't have a problem if a woman dominates me in the bedroom 20 to 30% of the time. The other 70 to 80%, it's going to be me. You see, here's the thing. If you're making love to a woman in the bedroom and you're turning her on so much, you're on top or whatever position, right? And let's say she's so turned on, so into you, she wants to say, babe, turn on, let me hop on. And you do you know what, right? Okay? That's her being dominant when she's on top. And that's great. I'm like, this is great. I can just kick back and just grab the booty, right? And just enjoy the beauty. Watch the, what's right here, right? Jiggle up and down. Look at the hair, flap all around. It's just sexy to me, man. Doesn't make me less of a man, but no more than 20 to 30% of the time. will it be attractive to me for a woman to be dominant in any capacity in our relationship? As far as work, she may have to be 100% dominant and masculine and have masculine energy, which is what I'm trying to say. But when it comes time to the bedroom and our relationship, no more than 20 to 30% of the time having masculine energy. Anything more than that's a big turnoff. Rip says, Minicule, laughter, whatever it is. I don't want to know that, says Queen. LOL, says Riff. Riff says, right, Queen. All right, let's get right to this, okay? As a woman, what are some masculine I think he meant to say things about you. Let the S. As a woman, what are some masculine things about you? First person answering is a guy named David Wyatt. Let's check this out. All right. Well, this is not really a masculine thing at all, but women do get judged for it more than men do. Why do you think that, David? Why do you think that women get judged for masculine energy more than men do? Because maybe it's not part of their natural essence of being feminine, and it's the natural essence of being a man, masculinity. These are the kind of dudes we have in this world nowadays. It's it's insane, right? Assuming this story is actually true, as some things said online are true and others are not, I saw a question from the USA, I think, asking why women are judged so much for farting. I don't judge a woman for farting, but like women that I've dated will very rarely fart. And if they feel like farting, you know, they go to the bathroom, right? And I very rarely will fart around a woman too. I try to not do it, right? I think it's just a rude and immature thing that we all did when we were younger, right? But I've talked about this with women I've dated in the past. If you need to fart in the bedroom, babe, go ahead and fart, right? Just don't put the covers over my face because I don't want to smell it or drink it or whatever, right? Farting is not a big deal. Men and women both fart. This has nothing to do with masculine or feminine energy. Maybe it's more of a stupid thing that, you know, boys would do when they're younger because women mature faster than men. You know, and when you're in your teens and 20s, you know, women are ahead of you maturity-wise, at least at that point. It went on to say she leant to one side. You mean she leaned? Lent? Like leaning. This guy can't type in bad grammar. She leaned to one side, lifted an ass cheek, and pushed out a massive, super, super loud fart in the eating area of Starbucks and laughed about it with her woman friends. Well, that is definitely not feminine energy, right? I think even if a man were to do that, it would be just rude and obnoxious, right? But that is very, very, not only unladylike, that is just very rude, in my opinion, whether you're a man or a woman, right? So the woman just rips a huge, huge fart, like, right? And she's laughing about it with her woman friends. That's a woman that I would not want to be around or date. She's very immature. That's very immature, male or female. When the group of women, a few tables, smelt the awful stink, they got mad and told her how rude she was. That is rude. It's absolutely rude. It's obnoxious. It's immature, right? Like I said, take from this what you want, but that is what the question said. No, dude. I don't think farting is masculine or feminine. We both have an ass, and we both fart and take dumps, right? Look. Okay, here we go. Let's get going. Jennifer Ramion studied at Columbia University, a very, very good college. This is a woman responding to this masculinity thing, right? Masculine versus feminine energy. She's like, I don't put up with any shit. Ma'am, you would already be eliminated from my dating list. I don't care how hot you are. Her first line, I don't put up with any shit. If I met a woman in person and that's the first thing she said to me, or if I got on the phone with a woman that I'm meeting from online dating and that's the first thing she said, I'd be game over. I don't need to hear your piss poor attitude, man, right out of the gate, right? I am strong emotionally, never cry in public. Well, Jennifer, you're basically behaving like a man. You're exuding masculine energy. This is not feminine energy, Jennifer, and you're a female. I am strong emotionally, never cry in public, never show weakness. Do you understand, Jennifer, that the natural biological aspects of a woman, okay? We're not saying that women are always weak, but women have a tendency to not be as strong at certain things when compared to men. For example, physically, men were built stronger than women biologically. Emotionally, men were built to be emotionally stronger, right? So in essence, ma'am, you're going against your own biology and you're trying to be something you're not. Why? Because of the way the modern world is, because finally women have been liberated and you feel like, you deserve like a gold medal or something, or see, this is something wrong here. There's something wrong with this woman here. Like she has some insecurity, or she has some unresolved issues that probably stem back to her childhood. Like this is completely negative. Then she puts independent. We know women are independent nowadays, ma'am. Why do you have to put it out there, right? Excellent negotiator, not afraid to negotiate more money, a better deal. Masculine energy. Assertive, masculine energy. A leader, masculine energy. Okay? This is all masculine. This is a woman. She didn't show her picture. She put flowers as her picture. This is a woman that just wrote a response saying she doesn't put up with any crap. I am strong emotionally, never cry in public. That's not feminine energy. Never show weakness. It's not feminine energy. Independent. Okay. Men and women are both independent nowadays, but it's still, the way you put it, is more masculine energy. It's not feminine energy. Excellent negotiator, not afraid to negotiate more money, a better deal. That's not feminine energy. Assertive. That's not feminine energy. Feminine energy would be, sweet, loving, nurturing, caretaker, open to receive a man's love, etc., right? A leader, that's not feminine energy. Not saying women can't be leaders, they are. And there are some great female leaders nowadays, but it is not feminine energy, period. Let's see. What is so good about being masculine? Let's check out the chat real quick. Does she let you keep your hat on? I'm not gonna read trolling questions. It's all good, Rip. I still have lots of love for you. You can have all the fun you want in the chat. I'm only gonna read things that are relevant to the topic. Maniacal, nice and slow pronunciation. Dear, oh dear. Huh.
Maniacal.
Exhibiting extremely wild or violent behavior. Okay. Riff says, wow, hello, Kettle. My name is Pot. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, Lewis Fuller. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, bro. I don't know if you went live today or not, Riff. I've had so many things to do. I'm preparing to receive my laptop over the next few days. It was supposed to come today. Now it's been rescheduled, so I might get it tomorrow or Friday. But thank you so much for being here, Lewis, and thank you for the like. Much appreciated. Much love from Coach Eli. All right, so let's read a few more here, and then we'll take the first break. I'm going to have to, use my words carefully because I don't want to get demonetized. What is so good about being masculine? There's different types. There is the F-boys, all loud on steroids that aren't masculine. They act more like girls, will F their friend's ex. Well, those are insecure guys. Those are insecure and immature guys, and because of the way those guys behave and treat women, women assume that most men are like them. So when a good guy like me comes along, she puts me through a very rigorous shit test to see if I'm not like them. And it sucks. Old school masculine like my father has cancer, doesn't miss a day of work. Nice guy, won't hesitate to hit you with a bat, doesn't gossip, keeps others, people, drama to them, low key. That's true. That is a real masculine man right there. Third is like the second, doesn't need to prove anything, acts like he's not hip or knows what's going on because he wants people to underestimate him. But if you try to play him, you play yourself. We need masculinity. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Say one of these soy boy, I think his grammar is horrible. Say one of these soy boys and his wife are sleeping, someone breaks in the house, they are effed. If you broke in my brother's house who was special forces, you would have no head. If you broke in my dad's house, it's batters up. Right. Back in the days, the real men would an intruder would come in and you had the right to protect yourself and they would take action. Right. Masculinity is when on 9/11, those firefighters went in those burning buildings knowing they were not coming back and went anyway. Right. Real men in certain situations will risk their life for the better good. My father was just like that. That's awesome. So here's another question. Are women becoming more masculine? Written by Rachel Bali, has 15 years of experience being female. Okay, so she's young. She says, damn right we are. My gosh, starting at 15 years old. And they already know that they're becoming more masculine. Reminds me of when I first met my ex-girlfriend, Dana. She introduced me to her 13-year-old daughter, who seemed to be very mature for her age. And she said, I'm a feminist. And I started laughing. Her 13-year-old daughter said, I'm a feminist. I said, no, you're not. You're a nice lady. No, but I'm a feminist. I am a nice lady, but I'm a feminist too. And I knew what she meant by that, meaning that, she has equal rights and, she's a, product of the system, now being able to be liberated and, do all the things that only once men were able to do, right? But the fact that she just labeled herself a feminist, I think that's what kind of threw me off. And it was just a conversation piece that I talked about with Dana back in those days for quite some time. I'm like, wow, your little girl says she's a feminist at age 13. Goodness gracious, man. So are women becoming more masculine? Damn right we are. And you know why? Because we're allowed to. So just because you were liberated and now you have equal rights to men and you can do the same things that men have always been able to do, that's why you feel you ladies are becoming more masculine. and you say, damn right we are, sounding like you're proud of having masculinity as a woman. And are you proud of your femininity, ma'am? Seriously, are you proud of your femininity? I mean, that's an honest question. Throughout a lot of history, both men and women have been stuck to certain gender roles. This goes beyond gender roles, ma'am. I completely agree with you on that aspect, that women don't have to be housewives anymore. Women don't have to be the only ones that are cooking and cleaning and doing all that stuff, dishes, laundry, all that stuff, right? But you still have to have masculine and feminine energy to have the right balance of sexual polarity for a relationship or marriage to work. So, throughout a lot of history, both men and women have been stuck to certain gender roles with very little flexibility. I wouldn't say that's true, but back in those days, we didn't have all the modern appliances and gadgets we have nowadays. There was no electricity, there were no toilets, there were no washing machines. Everything had to be done manually. You had to rub sticks to start a fire, right? It was a different time back in those days. Now we're all spoiled with modern technology and appliances. But you didn't mention any of that, ma'am. It's a different world we all live in. We don't have to go out and hunt for food and risk our lives as men to hunt for food, because our family's dependent on us. Want to be a knight, but you're a girl? Too bad. You need to stay at home. That's not true, ma'am. This young 15-year-old woman has been you see this? She's been indoctrinated into this culture by her friends and other, radical feminist type of women, in my opinion. Want to spend most of your time with your children, but you're a man? Too bad. You need to provide for your family. There was no choice back in those days, man. How else were you going to get food? There weren't supermarkets where you could walk in there and buy a steak that was butchered by a butcher shop. You had to be the hunter. You had to kill the animal. You had to clean up the animal, be your own butcher, and then your wife would cook it, right? Do these people not realize, these kids not realize growing up, that the way the world is today, so advanced with technology and these smartphones and, having supermarkets, that did not exist back in those days. Men and women had to do what they each did to survive. These kids are so damn spoiled nowadays. It's pathetic. It is. Now, though, for the first time in history, men and women are given almost equal opportunities. No, man. You have exact equal opportunities, men and women. This is the kind of stuff that really annoys the shit out of me. Men and women today have equal opportunities exactly. And as a matter of fact, ma'am, because of feminism and because of the way things have happened, women are getting more than they bargained for when they fought for equal rights. They're getting special privileges in the court systems, through divorce and child custody cases. So you see what's happening here is they're brainwashing these teenage girls to already learn this system of feminism before they even get out of high school. Just listen to this. There are still some places with not very much gender diversity, but compared to when women should have not been allowed to do certain jobs, it's definitely an improvement. Ma'am, I had this conversation with my ex many years ago, okay? And I asked her this question. I said, babe, if there was a huge storm with lightning and thunder that knocked out a utility pole in your area, would you go and get a job for PG&E? That's our local, Northern California gas and electric company. Would you go get a job for Pacific Gas and Electric Company and climb up that pole while it's pouring rain with thunder and lightning and risk your life getting electrocuted or risk falling down the pole and dying. Would you want to do that job, babe? Because you do have equal rights now. She goes, you know what, babe? You can go and climb up that pole. I don't want to do that kind of stuff. So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Men and women can work any job they want nowadays, even if it was a job that was once only known as a job that men would do, right? Okay? But most women don't want to do certain types of jobs. They'll say, oh, let the man do that. Well, you have equal rights. Why won't you want to get a job like that, right? The reason why certain jobs, ma'am, have more male employees than female employees is not because the companies don't want to hire women. It's because women don't want those jobs, ma'am. That's plain and simple. They don't want those jobs. As much as some people complain about the lack of women in STEM and IT nowadays, if a woman wants to go to those fields, she can. Of course she can. There are plenty of women in those fields here in the Bay Area, where I live, the San Francisco Bay Area. And obviously, if one group of women, specifically those in the past, are not allowed to do certain jobs, women can do any job they want nowadays as long as they're qualified to do it, ma'am. If she's not qualified, she wouldn't get the job in the same ways the man wouldn't get it if he wasn't qualified. Give me a second here. Sorry about that. Allergies. This is ridiculous. So, and obviously if one group of women, specifically those in the past, are not allowed to do certain jobs and one group is, then more from the group who are allowed to will. I'm not even going to respond to that, man. You're being ridiculous. You're listening to, maybe it's your mother, maybe it's an older sister, maybe, you're watching a lot of programs like The View and stuff like that, where they say, ladies, we don't need a man for anything, right? And this doesn't just apply to jobs. And it doesn't just apply to women. Okay, that's a fair statement. I'll give you that. Men are also taking up more feminine roles in society as well now, because it is becoming increasingly less stigmatized for a man to be a stay-at-home father. Just like it is now permissible to be a female athlete. I'm going to tell you this. I don't have a problem with men staying at home and being a stay-at-home father, but I will tell you right now, that puts him in a feminine, submissive position. Listen, nothing wrong with it. I just personally would never be a stay-at-home father because that would make me feel like less of a man. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to be there for my kids, but think about it. Okay, your wife is going to work and busting her butt, right? Making the money, and you're staying at home, not working, taking care of the kid. She's the man and you're the woman in the relationship. Now, if you're good living your life like that and you're attracted to your wife as a man because she's more masculine than you and she's attracted to you as her husband, even though, you're more feminine than she is, then hey, if that works for you, that's on you. But typically the sexual polarity would not be there. And there would be something out of balance. Something would be lacking. And I'll tell you what it would be. That woman would lose respect for you at some point and would stop sleeping with you because she doesn't feel safe around you, doesn't feel like you're man enough for her. That's ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break. Let me go back to full screen, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to continue. We've got a lot to go over. We are at 44 minutes. Nothing happening on Facebook. Let me check out the chat here real quick. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to read all the comments because, look, you hear one bashing comment, you've heard them all. And I get it. We all have our opinions, and people can just read the chat. But, you read one of these comments, and they're all the same, just saying different things about, what I don't like about women or, I get it. I get it. So let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music and step away and take a quick break here. All right. All right, folks. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for maybe a 7 or 8 minute break or so. And when I get back, we're going to continue discussing masculine versus feminine energy, how much this affects modern society, and why. Did I forget to read the topic earlier? Yeah, the topic is masculine versus feminine energy, how much this affects modern society, and why. So stick around. We'll be right back. everybody. You feel good? I feel real good. I am super excited about what's coming. And I'm going to be discussing that in a second, but I'm just going to enjoy the tail end of this song and just sway left and right and just relax and feel real good. And exude masculine energy where nothing bothers me, nothing phases me. I'm just cool, calm, collective, and relaxed. Yeah. Oh yeah, like a tropical vacation, sitting on a beach with a margarita, right? Or a Mai Tai, right? Maybe in Hawaii, right? Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me here on this amazing Wednesday. It is Hump Day. It is the middle of the week, and I'm here discussing this very important, very critical topic. So that way you can take the information that I give you, put it to good use, and go do something amazing this weekend. Maybe if you're a man that's struggling with the ladies because you don't understand masculine and feminine energy and you don't understand how to approach and connect with and bond with the modern day woman, maybe this will help you out. That way you can go and meet a wonderful lady this weekend and hopefully have some fun and have a great time, right? Oh yeah. So anyway, so today we're discussing masculine versus feminine energy, how much this affects modern society, and why. Masculine versus feminine energy, how much this affects modern society, and why. Before I took a break, at the beginning of the show, I was sharing how we got here, how we got to this point of where we now have women that are exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy, and how it's affecting, the modern world, the modern day dating relationships and marriages. On one hand, it is great for women to step into roles that were once only known as roles that men would do. No problem. But because those are roles that once only men would do, they do require the woman to exude masculine energy, right? But where's the problem? If she can't turn off that masculine energy when she comes home to her masculine man, that man is not going to be attracted to that. That's basically like, being married to or dating a woman, okay, with a penis, right? And so, or a woman that thinks she has a penis, right? And that's not attractive to men. We are attracted to the femininity of a woman, the female body parts, the nurturing, sweet, kind, supportive type of love, which is how women were biologically made to be. But because of women being liberated and, again, doing jobs that were once only known as jobs that men would do, okay, it has basically artificially changed women to be a different way. And a lot of these women, when they get this type of power, when they're empowered at this level, it is very difficult for them to turn it off. And again, that affects the sexual polarity in a marriage or a relationship. So if you missed any parts of that first, segment, go back, check out the replay. I also started to read some questions and comments from some Quora forums, which I'll be getting back to some more of that here in just a second. But anyway, Queen, do me a favor, Queen. Are you still able to moderate the chat? If you get people that are coming in here that are just trolling, can you just ban them, please? And I think you know how to handle it. Sorry, I was just checking my phone. I'm getting a lot of A lot of messages today. It's been a good day. I may do another stream later tonight or probably tomorrow and update you on my dating experiences, because now on Match.com and Bumble as well. And I'll tell you what I've had to do just to get 5 or 10 responses. How many women have I had to swipe right on, right? How long did it take? Okay. So I'll save that for tomorrow. So let's just get right back to it here. Let's get back to the Quora forum. Go back to the browser source. Lewis Fuller says, "You're back." Oh, wait a minute. There's something wrong where the chat froze here. Give me a second, folks. I think the way to fix this. Hang on a second. When that happens, it just happens every now and then. We turn it off. And we turn it back on. And I think we're good. Let me just do test. Sorry about that. All right. So now we're good. There's my test right there. All right. So back to the forum. Here's another question. Do you like masculine women? The only thing I like about masculine women, this person says, Richard Garcia, I am a strong supporter and dreamer for DC, etc. statehood. Okay. The only thing I like about masculine women, young and attractive from below the neck down, is that some feel so unattractive, so lonely, so invisible, so desperate for a male companion in love that they would be happy to show it all. Well, that's feminine energy. Okay? Women feeling unattractive, feeling lonely, feeling invisible, feeling desperate for a male companion in love. I don't know if I'd go as far and say desperate, but I get what you're saying. That is complete feminine energy. That's how all women used to be. That's how they're supposed to be biologically. Why are they different, like I've been saying? Because we live in an artificial world. No problem that women got equal rights, but now women are doing jobs that require them to exude masculine energy, right? So it's changed that, right? But that's what you just said there. It's Richard, right? Richard Garcia, is that, women at a natural level are going to be uncertain about things. Masculine energy, so I can't even talk. Masculine energy is certainty. Feminine energy is uncertainty, with no disrespect. That's just how men and women differ biologically. And that my reaction would be precisely what makes them feel loved for the first time in eternity. And that woman would be devoted to you because you're giving her the attention. And, she's not getting it anywhere else, maybe, or she doesn't feel secure enough to give somebody else a chance, and maybe you came on in there and you wooed her and won her over. Like they need it, like they need air to breathe. Yeah. Well, you're talking about how women are supposed to be at a normal biological level. Okay? Nothing to be shy or embarrassed about, nothing private, as normal as a woman wearing clothes. Like the only thing showing is her eyes. I want her to trust me like no other in a trillion ever would. No worries, no nervousness, just silent like everything is okay. The least sensitive woman ever to live. No hesitation, no doubt, no second thoughts, just, oh, okay, like it's just the two of us in the world, like Adam and Eve after eating the forbidden fruit from the Garden of Eden. Beaches, palm trees, breeze, birds flocking, flower, petals flowing, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, daytime as dark as 1 hour before sunset, pink, orange, yellow skies, the smell of heaven. Delusion is such a blessing for the lonely. Well, all those things you just mentioned there, Richard, are feminine energy. So I don't understand why you even pose the question, do you like masculine women? Because you basically just described that you don't. Or you described what a feminine woman is, what a completely feminine woman is and behaves like at a normal biological level. Milo Aaron poses the question, what are masculine traits? I think that just as a large part of being really cool is not caring that people think you are cool, a part of being masculine as opposed to its idiot little brother macho is not caring about being masculine. An alpha male or a masculine man is not going to go out there and say, oh, I'm an alpha male, I'm a masculine man. The only reason why I refer to myself in that way at times is because of the shows I run out here on YouTube, and in being a coach, I'm using myself as an example. But I would never, ever, in front of a woman, say, hey, girl, I am a, alpha male, a dominant alpha male, with great alpha qualities. You should date me. I would never do that. That's stupid. Just being who you are is going to exude that, and the right woman or women will be attracted to that. You see a guy carrying his wife's purse, manly. He is totally getting laid on the regular. I would have no problem doing that. Now, when I was dating my ex Dana, she would joke about it, and I said, look, give me the damn purse. She's like, no, give me the damn purse. I'll hold it, right? And I'd hold it for a little bit just as a joke, right? Because I'm secure within myself to, be able to do that. And I'd grab the purse and I'd put it around my arm, and I would pretend like I'm a woman. Ooh, this feels so lovely. I feel so good carrying this sexy, overpriced purse, right? I joke about it, right? That's masculine energy, right? A guy that would say, no, babe, I don't want to hold your purse. That'll make me look like a girl, right? That's feminine energy right there. A masculine guy that's secure within himself is going to take that purse, hold it, even in public, and make a big joke out of it, make her laugh. And then she'll get a good laugh out of it. And yes, you will be getting laid that night. Macho man, if he does have a wife, he doesn't carry her purse ever, because macho men are insecure. It's an insecurity. He touches it like it is radioactive because he's afraid of what other people are going to think about him. He's afraid other men and women are going to think he's feminine and not masculine. Well, his fear is making them come off as feminine with feminine energy. Now listen to this. This makes perfect sense. Masculinity is not self-conscious or thin-skinned. Right. A gay man propositions you. You smile at the compliment and say, sorry, dude, I just don't swing that way, and go on about your business. Right. You're not being disrespectful. I have gay friends. I love my gay friends, but they're just friends. I don't go that way myself, but hey, to each his own, right? Okay. Macho feels the need to commit violence to prove to everyone he isn't gay. Well, that's an insecurity. That's a very insecure man. A lot of these muscle-bound, muscular men are very insecure. That's why they built their muscles, right? They were insecure before they built their muscles. They're going to still be insecure once they build their muscles. Having muscles does not make you a secure man. You might be in a little better shape and more attractive, but the bottom line is a lot of women nowadays will even stay away from those big muscle-bound men because most of them are insecure. Wow. Give me a second here. I got to check something out. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's all good. My phone is going off with stuff not YouTube related. It's on silent. I don't think macho doth protest too much. No, macho's not the way you want to be. That's an insecurity. It'll repel women. When a woman breaks up with a masculine man, he feels sad it didn't work out, then moves on to try his luck elsewhere. That's right. It does hurt. And we may take a few months off or so, but after that, we get back on that horse and we try again. Plenty of fish in the sea, and he doesn't doubt that he will dine on fish soon enough. True. Right. Macho man thinks burning down the nightclub where his ex is out on a date with a new guy is a good option. Right. Because he's insecure and, he cannot remove that emotional attachment, which is feminine energy. A masculine man is going to have that emotional attachment. And I'm not saying it's easier as a man to remove that emotional attachment, but a strong masculine man will find a way to work through it and let it go. At least let it go enough to move forward initially, and eventually it'll go away. It was really hard for me to remove the emotional attachment from my ex Dana when we broke up. It took several months for me to completely remove it. And even after that, for a little while, I think about it every now and then. But at this point right now, we're 2.5 years later. I'm completely over it. And there's no emotional attachment. Now, do I still respect what we had, and do I still think she's a great woman? And do I still feel she's the one that got away? Yeah. But I'm secure enough to say that. I'm not going to talk smack about her. There's no reason to. She's a good woman. I think we just connected at the wrong time and some things happened, and I learned a lesson from it. Things happen for a purpose, right? You learn from it, and then you move on. And then you better yourself the next time. The next person you end up being with is going to get an even better version of you than your ex did. A masculine man figures he has man points to spare and isn't overly concerned with the outside trappings of what most consider manly. Right. I don't have to go out there and say I'm a man, right? Now, as a joke, when I was dating my ex Dana, I used to joke with her 13-year-old daughter that I mentioned earlier, told me she was a feminist when I first, met Dana and she introduced me to her daughter, her 13-year-old daughter. I used to say, I'm the man, right? Then her 13-year-old daughter, whenever I'd walk into the house and she'd be around, hanging out with Dana and I, she'd go, "You're the man," like in a very snarky way. And I realized, maybe I was saying a little too much, and maybe I was just, thinking that, okay, she's 13 years old. What does she really know about this stuff? But the funny thing is, those 13-year-olds are super freaking smart nowadays. It annoyed her. It annoyed her 13-year-old daughter when I'd walk into their house and I'd say, "I'm the man," right? Even as a joke, right? So yeah, a real man doesn't have to go around saying "I am the man" even as a joke. He just knows it. He just exudes it, right? He has swagger and confidence and charisma and knows that being a man and manly is with him at all times, an inherent and incorruptible quality. Right? It's deep within. You don't have to say it. You just be you. Right? A macho man has to zealously defend against any perceived threat to his fragile and superficial masculinity. That's because he's insecure. It's a complete insecurity. And that insecurity probably stems back to the way he was raised, his childhood, maybe some past experiences with women that he hasn't worked through yet. But whatever is holding him back from being a secure, confident man that doesn't feel the need to act macho, he needs to work through all that, or else it's going to affect him for the rest of his life. and he'll never get what he wants. And no woman's going to stick around with a guy like that, and most won't even give a guy like that the time of day. They will notice his insecurities out of the gate, and they'll see he's hot. Maybe they'll sleep with him one night if they feel like it, but it won't go any further than that. Manny Roberts, worker. I think this is a dude. Oh, that might be a woman. Okay. What is the least masculine thing about you? Let me check out the chat real quick. Nobody's over there on Facebook right now, on YouTube. Okay. All right. We're good. Let's continue. What is the least masculine thing about you? So I think this is a woman that's responding to this. My fingernails are basically everything to me right now. That's feminine energy. Fingernails, toenails, eyeliner, mascara, makeup, right? Hair color. That's all feminine energy. Women doing whatever they can to make themselves look more beautiful. If they're a little bit older, make themselves look a little bit younger. They're doing whatever they can to attract a man. That's why they do it. They don't do it for themselves. They do it for a man, right? Why else would a woman want to look so beautiful, right? Other than my body hair mania, not that I have much to begin with, and my constant need to have perfect eyebrows, a secret shame, I dedicate hours to my fingernails. Okay. That's feminine energy right there, totally. Let's rewind a few years back. I'm a ravenous nail biter. It's like the ultimate dessert without the flavor. That's nasty, man. I don't know what's so good about it, but as you'd guess, my fingers start to look like I use them to dig up bones. No offense, Commodore, cutest dog ever. So I decided to get over my crippling addiction, but I relapsed all the time. This summer, I finally stopped and I haven't bitten them since. So now I spend more than half an hour sometimes doing something to my nails, i.e. filing and whatnot, and it helps me not eat them. My family sees me as a creep, but it is all worth it so I don't have ragged nails again. And no, you don't want to know about the rest of my obsessions. You might not sleep tonight. What is the least masculine thing about you? Well, this is totally feminine energy. That I have to agree. It's totally feminine energy. All right, let me read one more from this page, and then I have two other Quora pages to go over. Artem Boystov, author at www.true-freedom.net. Great name, Artem. What does it mean to be masculine? Well, this is what he says. It means to conform to the image stereotype that exists in society about how an ideal male should be and how he should behave in certain situations. Dude, you are a beta male. Artem, I bet you haven't seen below the waist of a woman in quite some time, brother. And if you're married, same thing I just said. What does it mean to be masculine? It means to conform to the image stereotype that exists in society about how an ideal male should be and how he should behave in certain situations. Dude, it's simple. As a man, 70 to 80% of the time, you exude masculine energy. You're just a cool, down-to-earth guy. You're confident. You're focused on your purpose, right? If you're hanging around women, okay, and you disagree with them, you don't agree with them just to agree to try to get in their pants, you basically state how you feel. That's masculine energy. Dude, I think this guy's a feminist. He's definitely a beta male. Just like being feminine means to conform to the image of an ideal female too and behaving as such. Dude, where have you been? I got to check you out on true-freedom.net. If a woman is not in her feminine essence 70 to 80% of the time, the sexual polarity between her and a man is not going to work out. Why would any man want to be with a woman that exudes more masculine energy than feminine energy? Why? Why would any guy want to be with a woman like that? It's not a turn on, dude. There is no difference. There's a big difference. Holy smokes, dude. Where's Hazy Train when I need him to comment on this and call him a beta man, beta man, beta man? The only difference is that the modern society, with the help of the brainwashing that is called feminism, has convinced most people that femininity is mostly good and masculinity is mostly bad. Dude, you're a lost soul. Femininity is good, but so is masculinity. The problem is these women are not behaving feminine, our team. They're behaving more masculine. And because of that, 97% of the men in this world that are betas like you are behaving more feminine than masculine. That's the problem, our team. Our team, this is pathetic. Both are toxic. No, they're not. Being a masculine man or a feminine woman is not toxic, our team. Not just masculinity, because all ideas about how you should be are toxic and they rid you of the pleasures of life. Don't be masculine, be yourself. Dude, part of being yourself as a man is being masculine. Dude, this is pathetic, man. I'd love to debate you on this, our team. I'll make you cry, bro, like you never cried before, dude. And I don't like making anyone cry, male or female. Men need to be masculine 70 to 80% of the time. Women need to be feminine 70 to 80% of the time. It's part of their natural biology in the way men and women were made to be by a higher power, I believe to be God, our team. Oh, our team. Oh, I got to read one more here. I got to read one more because this one is good. I've read most of this earlier, and I do want to read this. DeWine Hansen works at U.S. Army. I think this is a woman. The question is, what's it like to be a masculine straight woman? Is it difficult? Being a masculine straight woman is easy compared to being, say, a feminine straight man of any kind, of trans or bi. At least it seems that way to me. I've seen the struggles of my bi friends, and it is tough, man. I respect them for it. I mean, I would definitely agree with you on the fact that being a masculine straight woman is easier compared to being a feminine straight man. You know why? It gives women the power that once men had, right? And it's not that men having the power was a bad thing. Men were the leaders, and, you know, women were following the man, and they made a great team together, right? So in essence, what she's saying there is that, you know, during these times, a masculine straight woman is the leader and the feminine straight man is a submissive one, just like the woman used to be on the feminine side and like the man used to be on the masculine side, right? The sexual polarity has flipped in the modern world with most people. That's why the divorce rate is 60%. That's why. Let me see. Let me check the chat real quick here. I'm going to take another break right after I go through this, and I'm going to come back for a third and final segment here. Queen is looking for trolls. She's crying out of laughter. Are you laughing at the beta male remark? Because our team was a beta male, huh, Queen? Betamon. The hard parts for me are situations like trying to fit in at school. I had a friend who wanted to be popular, and I was constantly dragging her down to the popular totem pole. Okay, yeah, a lot of times, school becomes a popularity contest instead of, going there to get an education. We went to a school where preps ruled supreme and pretty girls wear pink and frills and short skirts, and I don't. I hate pink. Ruffles and frills are stupid, just as stupid as the squealing and coquettishness and the ridiculous obsession with shoes and makeup. We were in middle school, people. Yeah, it's a popularity contest wherever you go now. And if you went to private school like I went to, where everybody had money, yeah, you should see how the moms dressed the girls, right? And then, us guys dress nice too. But yeah, your parents want to make you look all good and stuff, right? Yeah. And then our other friend came out as bi. Her name sounds like mine, and she was also very masculine. Okay. So if she's bi and she's dating, if it's a female, she's bi, she's dating another woman, maybe she's the masculine one, but she would need to be with a woman that's more feminine. Even two masculine women in a lesbian or bi relationship, okay, it's not going to work. One has to be more feminine, one has to be more masculine, or the sexual polarity will dissipate. That's the truth. Even before that, people thought I was lesbian. The first instance that immediately comes to mind was when I was 10. My friend came out when I was 11, and I had been called the D word. I'm not going to say that. Ever since. I'm trying to watch my words here so I don't get demonetized here. I'm Southern Baptist, born and raised, and worked way too hard and failed and cried way too often trying to fit into a feminine role. Guys thought I was butch lesbian and wouldn't ask except for the ones who were already friends with me. Okay. So it sounds like you were having an identity crisis to me. I hate screaming brats. I'm marginal at best for cooking. I can't sew and come from a long line of quilters and fantastic mothers. It sounds like to me that you weren't raised traditionally. And it sounds like to me your mother did a job that exuded more masculine energy or was more of a job that men would do typically. I like kids when they can form and articulate opinions. So do I. I like when anyone can form and articulate opinions. When you can sit down and discuss things. I love my nephews who are 2 and younger, and I like to go out walking with them and watch Veggie Tales and getting them little toy trains. I panic when they start crying. When an older kid or an adult cries, I know to just hold them and shut up and listen. When a 2-year-old cries, what do you do? Well, what do you do when a 2-year-old cries? Well, you got to ignore them. Put them in their crib and walk away. Let them be alone. And teach them to, teach them that, hey, if you cry, no one's going to be around you. That's what you do. That's what my ex Dana used to do with the kids. She takes care of kids. She had a separate room with the cribs. It was next to the room that she would go to. She wasn't far away from the kids, but when the kids would cry, she would put them in the crib and just let them cry their lungs out, and she would ignore them on purpose to teach them a lesson. She's very good at that. He's not hurt. He doesn't need anything. It's a tantrum. Right. They're trying to get your attention, right? All they're trying to do is get your attention, or if they're used to getting a certain something, and they don't get it one time, then they're going to cry. You got to teach them a lesson that if they cry, they'll be ignored. I love French and want to teach it and provide kids with a wider scope of understanding, a broader command of language, and some fun facts. I'm probably not as good at nurturing. Loving, caring, providing, sure, I've got those, just not nurturing. Well, ma'am, being nurturing is one of the biggest aspects of feminine energy. So apparently it sounds like to me you were raised by a mother that wore the pants in the household. That's what I'm assuming. Because if you didn't get the qualities of nurturing, which is the biggest feminine aspect of a woman, that's the reason why, in my opinion. I became a much happier person once I quit trying to fit a gender role. I just don't. A work in progress since about 9th grade. Look what's happening to our kids nowadays. Women nowadays are being taught to be like men. That's what's happening. They're being raised as men, and they're being taught to be like men. This is when I started reading this, when I started looking at the forums regarding what people think about this stuff, and you see young kids sharing their thoughts, then you really see where it starts. It starts in the household, being raised by a more dominant masculine type of mother, right? It starts there at a very young age. Wow. My friend who wanted to be popular moved to a different school. I met a different group of people who were just very sincere. I became closer with my boyfriend and gradually either stopped hearing or stopped caring about the rumors going on about us. Okay, I dated guys who knew me platonically, very long term, and it became a situation where other guys didn't ask because they thought I was still spoken for. Well, if you're dating someone, aren't you spoken for per se? I mean, that's a pretty harsh way to put it. But if you're in a committed relationship, I mean, yeah, why would anyone else want to talk with you and try to get with you? Unless you're playing the field. Or another situation where they asked because they thought I'd leave the guy I was with and be with them. A typical guy thing to do, I guess. Listen, there are guys out there, if you're an attractive woman, even if you're with someone, part of their game is going to be to try to see if they can get you to cheat on your guy or leave your guy for them, right? A lot of guys get off on that. Those are not men with integrity, in my opinion. Those men lack integrity. You don't want to be with them anyway. You want to date people, whether you're a man or a woman. You want to date people of high integrity. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say, high integrity. Or maybe they just thought the other guy was a cover-up and I was open to new cover-ups. Sounds like these guys are just playing games and they're young, dumb, and full of you-know-what. I don't have to say it to get demonetized. I'm dating a fantastic guy now who loves cooking and can be pretty feminine, and people tend to think he's gay. Well, I love cooking too, and I'm not feminine at all. If you as the woman are saying he can be pretty feminine, okay, obviously this is what happens. Look, she's been raised to be more masculine, so what is she attracted to? A feminine man, because she wants to wear the pants. She's wearing the pants, right? Because her mother was wearing the pants, right? And she taught her daughter to wear the pants. And now, because masculine men won't give her the time of day because she's acting like a masculine woman, she only attracts and is attracted to feminine, submissive men. In the end, well, that's why they think he's gay, and he's not. Because he's a man behaving like a woman. It's just a feminized beta male. You've got a beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man. I think Queen loves it when I sing the beta man song. That's what she was laughing at earlier, right? One guy who thinks long term and has scared other girls off for hypothesizing about a future together too quickly and actually finds it fascinating that I dreamed I was the opposite of heterosexual. I'm not going to say the word there. I don't want to get demonetized. Man, for literally a semester straight, I don't weird him out like I did the others. I can wear plaid flannel and boxers. I don't have to wear makeup. I can steal his shirts. He has epic taste. We're very happy. We are very, very happy. Okay, give me a second here, folks. Okay, just a second here. Okay, did I read that? I don't weird him out like the others, like I did the others. I can wear plaid flannel and boxers. I don't have to wear makeup. I can steal his shirts. He has epic taste. We're very happy. Well, that's kind of like a tomboy. I don't mind. I actually am attracted to tomboys that can wear flannel and boxers and not wear makeup, right? Nothing wrong with that, but she still has to exude feminine energy, okay? Or at least more feminine energy. 70 to 80% of the time, she needs to exude more feminine energy, and 20 to 30% of the time exude a little masculine energy. No problem. But see, man, you're exuding masculine energy probably like 70 to 80% of the time. The sexual polarity in your relationship is flipped. I can tell you it's not going to last. You think it is, but it's not going to last. You're going to eventually get bored and tired that he's not man enough for you. You just don't realize it yet. But you'll see what happens. It may not happen now. Who knows? You may end up marrying this guy, but I can guarantee you if you marry this guy, you'll be divorced within probably 5 to 10 years or less. I've seen this happen many times, and it's because of the sexual polarity being flipped. You're a woman behaving like a man, and he's a man behaving like a woman. All right. Let me flip back to full screen here. Well, let me do this. Let me switch over. When I get back, I'm going to read a few more questions and answers here from the Quora forum. I'm going to come back probably just for another maybe 30, 40 minutes or so. Where are we at? We are at 1 hour and 37 minutes. I'm going to go a little over 2 hours. Kids are being taught Marxism. Yeah, I hear you, Queen. I hear you. All right, so I'm going to queue up some more royalty-free YouTube music and step away for another quick break, get a little more coffee. So just give me a second here. All right, folks, music is all cued. I'm going to step away for another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do one final 30 or 40-minute segment of answering some, showing how people answer certain questions on the Quora forum regarding masculine versus feminine energy. And again, the topic is masculine versus feminine energy, how much this affects modern society and why. So stick around, we'll be right. Whoa, back to full screen first, Eli. Stick around, we'll be right feel so good. It will clear your mind and your soul. You're going to feel real good. I got to tell you, it feels so good to be drama-free. It feels so good to be drama-free, I'll tell you that. So peaceful and relaxing, I'll tell you. Yeah! Woo! Feel good! I feel good. Do you feel good? I feel great. I feel great. And I want you to feel great along with me so you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires, right? Yeah. Yes. All right. All right. We are looking good. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome back to the third and final segment of today's show. We've been discussing masculine versus feminine energy and how much this affects modern society, and why, one more time, masculine versus feminine energy, and how much this affects society, modern society, and why. If you missed the first two parts of the show, go back and check out the replay. Tons of great information that men and women can learn a lot from, regardless of your sexual orientation. And hey, BWYA Gaming's in the house. Hello, Eli, and everyone just got home and making dinner. Hello, Gaming says Queen, and Gaming says hi, Queen. Yes. Nothing happening on Facebook today. No problem. You know, I was going to say, let me mention this real quick here. So most of you know that have been following me for a while, I'm going to be getting my new laptop over the next day or two. And so I'm going to make an announcement here tonight because I'm prepared for the transition. I've prepared for whatever I need to do on the day that I get this laptop to be able to make a quick transition. Where in the past, I've done it all, in one day. So I'm highly assuming, by this Friday, I'll have the new laptop up and operational, and these live streams will start being broadcast at 1080p at 60 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second. The difference is going to be this. It's going to be a little bit more fluid on the screen, and maybe the sharpness might be a little bit better because I'm also going to be broadcasting at 30 megabits per second instead of 20 megabits, which is already a lot higher than YouTube recommends, but I'm all about quality, right? And if you watch my streams compared to other streams, how much clearer is my picture? Not just with me, or not just myself, but the background and all that, the text on the screen that displays the chat, and even below my name. Or below, where my name is at, which is what I'm trying to say. And then over the weekend, unless I have some plans, I might have some plans, but I'm not sure yet. I may go hiking, not sure yet. If I don't go hiking, I will put out one or two videos in 4K. One of them might be a YouTube short. The other is probably going to be another short video. And another thing I need to get back on is to create some members-only content because I do have some members, and I would like to give you folks some members-only content occasionally as well, which that content in some cases will be 1080p 60 if I record it in the studio, or 4K at 60 frames per second if I do it outside of the studio from my iPhone 12 Pro Max. All right. Let's get back to the browser source, the browser screen, and let's go to the next Quora page there, the next Quora question. How can I balance my masculine and feminine energies? Naomi Lauren, who's a trans woman, thoughtful, Christian, compassionate, demisexual Greek. Question details. I'm a 19-year younger gender neutral boy and have been having difficult time distinguishing the acts of masculinity and femininity. I want to be taken more seriously by people at times and places of my life, such as at work. So if you were biologically a man, maybe you still are biologically a man, if you made the transition, then now you're a woman, you were still born a man. So that's how you learned to be. And if you've transitioned to being a woman, it's probably going to take some time to really start to get used to being in that position. Just because you made the change doesn't mean you're going to know how to behave. I mean, it's going to be a whole learning experience, right? And here's the thing. I'm not a critical person. I love everybody equally, despite your sexual orientation. But you have to also understand that there are many people out there that stereotype transgender people. And you have to be prepared for that. You have to be strong. And you can't be sensitive and insecure about this. You have to expect it because that's just the way people are in this modern world, right? So just keep doing you. If you're happy being you, just be happy that you are who you are. And you're young, you're 19 years old. I mean, even if you were, straight, or even if you were biologically the same, gender as you were born, it's still a struggle at 19 years old to figure out life. Most guys don't know what masculinity is at 19. Most women don't know what femininity is at 19. You learn as you get older, right? You learn with experience, and that comes with age. Acts of masculinity and femininity are socially contrived for satisfying gender stereotypes. Well, I mean, masculine and feminine energy applies to everyone, right? And even if you're a transgendered woman that was biologically originally a man, you are living the life of a woman now. So you're technically supposed to have feminine energy. If you have masculine energy, then you're not living in your actual, gender that you converted yourself to. You have a wonderful but awkward gift to see straight through these socially defined illusions of gender expectations. Don't ever lose that. Well, don't let people get to you. Be you. Be happy with who you are. That's all that matters. And the right people will come into your life, right? Are you going to get a lot of crap? Yes. Will you get it from me? No, I'm a good person. I accept everyone for who they are. But let's just face it. This is all still new in the modern world. All of these different types of sexual orientations. And people are getting used to it, right? You have to understand that. Is it right for people to attack you over this? No, it's not right to attack someone regardless, right? But that's just the way the world is. So you have to learn how to be happy within your own skin, being who you want to be or who you feel you are, right? As a skill, you can teach yourself how to recognize gender expression in others and to mimic masculine expectations sufficiently to help yourself be taken more seriously. Okay? You shouldn't care what other people think about you. Just be you. Some people will take you seriously, and the ones that don't were not meant to be a part of your life. Just don't let them ruin your life. Kind of like I used to let the trolls out here on YouTube distract me from what I was trying to create. Do they still come at me? Do trolls still come at me to this day? Yes, but I ignore them and I continue doing what I have to do, no matter what they do. And eventually they're all going to go away and leave me alone. And the same thing will happen for you. Just don't feed into it. Don't let it get to you. Just roll with the punches. This starts with reading about gender stereotypes, gender expectations, gender roles, and maybe feminism too. Yeah, I said the same thing in different words. It's just the way the world is. This is all new. And a lot of straight people have a hard time accepting different sexual orientations. I would just either ignore those people or you can try to explain to them, but just know you're going to have some backlash because that's just the way the world is. The next step is observing gender differences in speech, behavior, mannerisms, movement, and clothing. Then to start imitating the masculine traits you are learning about. Just be yourself. Be yourself. You don't have to try to conform to anyone or anything, right? You be who you were meant to be. Much of gender expression is local to your area and subculture. Therefore, no amount of reading can replace your own direct observation. That is true. That's absolutely true. So while you may be observing all this stuff, and while a lot of people may be coming at you and calling you names and criticizing you and being rude and mean, just ignore them and continue being yourself, because you're going to attract the right people that you want to attract by being you. Ignore the haters. Bottom line. Important. Be moderately subtle in your expression of masculine traits. Going all out to compensate for your gender-neutral nature is likely to be both uncomfortable to you and unconvincing for others. Why are you trying to convince anyone else? It sounds like to me you're trying to convince yourself. If you're happy with who you are, just be who you are, regardless of who you are. And if the wrong people come at you, ignore them. Ignore them and focus on the people that respect you for who you are, no matter who you are or where you come from. Let me see here. This is pretty long, so I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I think you get a good idea about that. Now, let me scroll down here. Okay, here's a good one here. Greg Enriquio, Emotional Banking Cartel. I guess that's his company. What does a divine feminine with balanced masculine energy act like in reality? There is no divine feminine or divine masculine, just push and pull. Well, there is, in my opinion, divine femininity and divine masculinity. It's a biological man's natural essence and a biological woman's natural essence of being feminine and masculine. Okay? Just push and pull. Once polarization is activated when your soul reignites itself in your twin flame. Sexual polarity will not be there unless one side is more masculine and the other side is more feminine. If you have two people trying to be more masculine than feminine, and one's a man and one's a woman, they're going to be fighting like two men. It's just not going to work out. It's like having two men where one is a vagina. Okay? It just doesn't work out. Trust me on that. Before ascension, drama, fear, they run, you chase, heartache for the chaser or push twin flame. Most of the negatives are on the push twin flame as they're asked to ascend. The pull twin flame has no idea what's going on with them. After reaching soul energy during ascension, you're not going to just shoot up to peace and unconditional love. You'll have moments when you do, and you'll go back down. Moments when you do, you'll go back down till your energy is balanced. Okay, I'm not going to read any more of this, but it makes a lot of sense here. It makes a lot of sense. Okay. Let me scroll through here and see. There was one more I wanted to read. How can I balance my feminine and masculine energies? I mean it spiritually, not in social terms. This was by Sarah McLean, aspiring novelist. Just interact with both. Make sure that the masculine and feminine sides of your own personality are balanced, like I said earlier. Both men and women need to be in their own natural essence 70 to 80% of their time. A man needs to be a man 70 to 80% of the time. a masculine man, and a woman needs to be a feminine woman 70 to 80% of the time. The other 20 to 30% of the time, you can be in the opposite essence. No problem. But you have to primarily be in your natural essence, your biological natural essence, 70 to 80% of the time. Get in touch with your animus or anima, as Jung would put it. However, I should mention that what qualifies as masculine and feminine can be somewhat arbitrary. No, it's not arbitrary. It is what it is. Masculine energy is masculine energy, and feminine energy is feminine energy. This is the problem we have nowadays. People are trying to make this something more than it is or what it actually isn't. Masculine energy is just that. It's masculine energy. And feminine energy is just that. It's feminine energy. For example, many cultures see the sun as masculine. Apollo, Helios. I didn't know that the sun, had a gender. The sun is the sun. It's a force of energy. And the moon, feminine. Artemis, Selene. However, sometimes the sun is feminine and the moon is masculine. Again, I've never seen the sun and the moon having gender roles. Wow, what's this world gone to? What qualifies as masculine and feminine traits may be traits that men tend to value: competitiveness, strength, and traits that women tend to value: nurturing, community. But it is still arbitrary. No, it is not arbitrary. It is not arbitrary. Just be authentic, stay balanced. I agree with that. But part of staying balanced is a man being more masculine most of the time and a woman being more feminine most of the time. All right? That's the bottom line. All right, let me switch over here. There was one thing I wanted to read here before I go off the air. Yes, this is the last one I'm going to, maybe the last one. Unless there was another one. I know there was another one here. Yeah, I'm going to read two more. So get your questions in, folks. We'll be going off the air soon. But let me check out the chat real quick. BWY Gaming says, right, Eli. Can you be more specific what you're responding to? Because I haven't been paying attention to the chat while I read this. All right. So, Jesse Bailey. The ultimate truth is that the truth is defined by the self. Okay. She says, is that, yeah, I think that is a female. It's a female. They are superstitious nonsense that persists to divide people. Instead of defining people are male or female, I think you meant to say as male or female, and expecting them to be a certain way, individuals should just be seen as individuals that have their own thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Trying to force others to be other than themselves will only cause resentment and inequality between people. Okay, listen, you folks are very confused here. I remember when I was with my ex Dana, Dana's dad even said this to me one time. And he said, it's not about men and women, it's about people. It's about people, Eli. And I now understand what he meant by that. People are people. We're all human beings. We're all people, okay? We're all individuals. But men and women are biologically different. A male dog and a female dog are biologically different. Okay? As individuals, if we have thoughts and, we have other aspects to bring to the table, that you can look at us as individuals. But biologically, men and women are different anyway. way you look at it. Trying to force others to be other than themselves will only cause resentment and inequality between people. This woman's been really indoctrinated hard into the feminist agenda for more than what it was meant to be. Do not accept the idea of masculine and feminine energies as valid. Why not? Instead, accept people as they are. Okay, the bottom line is this. Regardless of your sexual orientation, every relationship has to have masculine and feminine energy balanced in order for it to work out. One side has to be more masculine, the other side has to be more feminine, or else the sexual polarity will dissipate. If you don't believe me, then answer this question. Why is the divorce rate over 60% now in the U.S.? Why? For this same reason. Women are behaving like men. Men are behaving like women. So what happens? A woman gets married to the beta male provider, has kids, and then 5-6 years after they're married is no longer interested in having sex with her husband because he's not man enough for her, right? Because of what you're saying here, right? So what does she do? She goes in and cheats on him with Chad and Tyrone. And then he finds out, and now he's hurt and wants to divorce her, right? All because that woman probably had the same idea of what you just said. Do not accept the idea of masculine and feminine energies as valid. Instead, accept people as they are. You should accept people as they are. But men are men and women are women. We are biologically different. End of story. Period. End of story. One more I'm going to read here because I'm getting exhausted. This is really beginning to drain me because I really feel it when I do this. Where was that one I was going to read? Give me a second here. Where was that? Here we go. Chris Lord, former doctor of philosophy. Okay, is there a scientific proof that we have both feminine and masculine energy within us? Let's see. Humans, whilst, probably from the UK, in the beginning of fetal development status are neither male nor female, yet live within a vibratory system which is also tuned to Earth's frequencies whilst forming, eventually generating energy and electromagnetic impulses throughout the trimester of the forming brain. This is too brainy. But anyway, let's go through it anyway. Which is a highway full of electromagnet signals, etc., being received and absorbed, forever activating signatures for altering everyone's vibratory patterns and linked to even solar eclipses and the Earth's magnetic pole. This is way too much. I'm getting tired reading this, right? Therefore, we are living in different hypnotic states all our lives, all our lives and walking through energy fields every day where we develop sensations and feelings of being masculine and sometimes feeling feminine. Both men and women have masculine and feminine energy, but you need to be in your natural and biological essence most of the time. I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. But man's ego. Hold on a second. Yeah, but man's ego as an adult won't accept this way of thought. Hence, this question is beyond the science or the prerogative of science, but intuition is able to answer. Dude, you could have written this in a much less confusing way. Most people are not going to have a clue what you mean here. But you yourself already exhibit male and feminine qualities, as do all men and women. I agree with you on that. That's the clearest thing you've stated, sir, or former doctor, in this entire, posting. Often humans exhibit both. True. Due to man's nature and environment, humans are a chemical compound striving to understand ourselves, forever searching for answers at the very basic levels. What does your mind tell you, and what quality do you display the most? As your environment affects what persona that people adopt to survive and feel safe. These people are making excuses. I swear to God, most people on this planet have been brainwashed by this whole thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to full screen and give my closing statement here and get on out of here, because quite frankly, by the time I get through a show like this, I'm exhausted. I'm drained because I feel like I need to save the world from this, and I'm only one man. I can't save the world. Masculine and feminine energy is very important. It is not to be devalued. It is what makes us what we biologically are. Men are biologically masculine. Women are biologically feminine. The reason why we have these issues nowadays, and we've been talking about this, is because women were liberated, which is not a problem. Women being liberated is not a problem. The problem lies when you get women involved and they're now doing things that were once only known as things that men would do, and those things require a lot of masculine energy. It forces a woman to be something that she wasn't biologically made to be. Nothing wrong with her doing it and being successful at it. But the truth of the matter is it's artificial. It is not how she was biologically made to be. Men were not biologically made to be feminine, but you have a lot of feminized men nowadays because they see women being empowered, and because they're acting more masculine and exuding more masculine energy, these guys feel like if they're not really nice and sweet to these women, which is feminine energy, or overly sweet, even a strong guy can be sweet, but to a certain extent, right? If these guys don't act nice and feminine and sweet to these masculine women, these women are going to eliminate them, right? Well, the truth of the matter is, even if they act all sweet and feminine, and the woman is acting all masculine, right? And it works out, it's only going to work out temporarily, because the sexual polarity is going to be flipped. And sooner than later, or at some point, your woman's going to stop sleeping with you because she's not going to respect you as a man, because she's more manly than you are. That's the bottom line. Why can't people understand this? Why fight biology? BWY Gaming says, I forgot now. I've been listening. I was agreeing with the being who you are. I agree, be who you are. But I hope you also understand the difference between masculine and feminine energies. BWYA Gaming. All right, folks, I'm going to get on out of here and enjoy the rest of my night. I'm going to go and either make myself some dinner. I'll see what I have in the fridge and the freezer. And or I may just run out and grab something, probably take an Epsom salt bath, and then relax. And I'll be back tomorrow around the same time for another show. And then by Friday afternoon or so, or early evening, I should be doing that show that I do on that day with my new laptop at 1080p, 60 frames per second. I look forward to that, folks. So with that being said, thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone for being here. Have yourselves a great day. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.